Hi, welcome to another session of Wing Chun Kid. Not happy about doing this video, but it seems like it's all over the internet now, so I might as well comment on it. Seems to be some kind of feud between two great martial artists. One is by the name of Ramsey Dewey, and the other is Master Wong. And these two guys are great guys. I think that they're really wonderful people. I watch both their channels, I'm subscribed to them, and I watch them all the time. And I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding here. And they are both right and they are both wrong. What the incident is that once again I'm saying this like Ramsey Dewey is a very good instructor in MMA, and Master Wong is I guess Wing Chun, Tai Chi, and self-defense martial artist, and I'm sure his martial arts is very good as well. What happened is Wang Sifu posted many self-defense videos, and I'm going to just describe the video briefly. It's about somebody doing a rear naked choke on another person. And then the scenario is how do you get away with this kind of choke? And the solution, one of the solution was that you, while the person is trying to choke you, knowing that you only have 3 seconds to react. One of the only option you have, and a few other options, but one of the only quickest solution is to turn around as much as you can, a little bit to your body, and smash the groin several times. And that was one of the technique. Obviously, there probably are many techniques and other things that you can do, but that was one of his techniques, and I'll go as far as that because going into too in-depth is really difficult to explain. So one of his techniques was to turn your body and smash the groin. So then what happens is Ramsey Dewey posted a video, and in the beginning of his video he had called out Master Wong's name, and he named the videos with Master Wong's name in the front of the video, and then he posted some of Master Wong's clips for just a second or two, showing that those were the clips that he's going to disprove. Now, it's really, I would say, not nice to do something like that. I know we're all guilty of saying certain things that can upset certain people sometimes, because everybody takes these kind of religious things or kung fu things too religiously, and that's true. Ramsey is very correct on that. He did mention that, it's not a doctrine, it's just a technique. And he's right. However, you should then only call it as a technique. It's kind of like, this is a very, small community on YouTube. And it's not nice to name somebody by name and type their name in front of your video and then show their video clips and then disprove them step by step. That is just something not nice. It's not nice to do. And whether you're right or you're correct, it's not the point. even if somebody does an extremely terrible move, to do what you're doing on your own channel like that and make a video against somebody is just not a nice thing to do. I mean, some of the solution is you can go to his page on that video that he posted and just comment on it. And that would be perfectly fine, because the bottom sections are for commenting. So anybody is free to go to anybody's site and just, comment on, well, I don't think this technique is good, and blah, 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 because of this and that. And that's perfectly fine. But to name somebody and then to type his name out and make a video about it, that is not correct to begin with. It doesn't matter if your technique is right or wrong. Then, secondly, it's funny because in the defense of Wang Sifu, and I have a lot of respect for Ramsey Dewey, and I think a lot of his opinions are correct in his own way. But the problem here is it's correct in his own way, because he's coming off here on a completely different scenario, where he's looking at us as more of a MMA perspective, where Master Wong is looking at it as a self-defense perspective. So in demonstrating that move, it's really funny, because Ramsey gets a student, he chokes his student, and he tells his student to hit him in the groin as hard as he can. And, for the first 3 seconds, I saw that his student easily managed to hit him at least 3 times. But the problem is he was wearing a cup. So really, I mean, if with a little bit of practice, I'm sure his student could easily hit him at least 4 times within 3 seconds. And he's proven that to himself in his own video. So if somebody could hit you 3 to 4 times full force in the groin, it would be very difficult for most people to try to keep full pressure in the rear naked choke. It would be extremely difficult. Now, Ramsey says if he got hit, he'll just be more angrier and then tighten up his grip a lot more. Well, you know what? We would like to see that. We would actually like to see him get hit in his actual groin while doing the rear naked choke. I mean, most people can't take it. And even if you can take it, even if you do, you're an exception. I don't know about you, but most people would not want to get hit there. And if you got balls and you get hit there 3 times, full strikes to the groin like that, it would hamper your choke tremendously. So, and he proved that himself, because he didn't want to get hit in the demonstration. He wore a cup. So that really proves that already people in general don't want to get hit there. And if they get hit there, it can hurt quite a lot. Anyone who's a man would know that. And also in the context of what it is that Master Wong is advocating that is just one step of a whole scenario of other steps. And this is just a demonstration to teach somebody something really quickly within half an hour. And it is to be performed in the scenario where this is in a street environment. And the person performing that choke most likely is not a professional MMA guy. Because if it was an MMA guy, nobody can escape it. I mean, seriously, if somebody clamped down on you, with the choke, it's very, very hard to get out. So there, he's not advocating that. He's saying that if just a regular thug grabs you by the neck, starts dragging you back, as, a 200-pound or 240-pound man. That Asian guy was huge in Master Wong's video. That huge guy, he looked like about 240 pounds, 20 pounds, I don't know, with muscles. If he grabbed a little girl who's like 110 pounds or 100 pounds, there's no way, no amount of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that you can do that is going to get you out of a rear naked choke. The only option that she would have is maybe try to hit him in the balls. And that would work for most guys. I mean, you see it in, UFC. Guys get kicked in the balls and they're on the floor screaming. This is extremely devastating. So that is a viable option for sure for self-defense. So, of course, then as a response, so that's, as a response, Master Wong should have now came out in a second video and then just disprove Ramsey in a very calm and gentle manner. I mean, it's not really good to, lose your face in front of the camera. There's a lot of people watching. You really gotta, approach it in a very mature manner. And the response, the second video that Master Wong posted was very ugly. It was very sad to see that video. Nobody got the point across because he was just swearing the whole time. So, it made Master Wong look really, really bad. But you know what? These two are great guys. Ramsey is a great guy. Master Wong's a great guy. And, you guys should keep on watching them and you should keep subscribing them. So, Master Wong then overreacted when, he shouldn't have overreacted. And he should have just point for point, in a nice manner, explain and counter his points. As to what Ramsey's saying is wrong, because what Ramsey is doing is not that he's doing it wrong, but this is a different perspective. Ramsey is seeing this in a, BJJ point of view. And in the BJJ point of view, he's saying, you got to do this or that. And he kind of demonstrated 4 or 5 techniques to get out of that. But then it looks like, he kind of got out of all of them extremely easy. It's not really pressure testing because Ramsey was about the same size as his other students, and Ramsey has way, way more experience than his students. His students, they looked like they were not very experienced guys. Hence the word, they are his students. So obviously they are not that experienced, not compared to him. So obviously he got out of it quite easily. So, and the scenario was that, he can roll on the ground and he can, do all these things where in an environment that is, have broken glass and pavement, you don't want to be rolling on the ground because, people have friends, people have knives, and so on and so forth. So, Ramsey is kind of taken out of context. But then obviously Ramsey, I'm sure the 4 techniques that, that he presented were probably very good techniques, and he managed to take one arm out of the choke, and then he managed to take the other arm out of the choke, and he got out of all of them. So the point on what I'm trying to make across is, what, they were both wrong. And they were both wrong. Ramsey is wrong to post other people's video and call them out by name and do that kind of video. He could have just done a video about naked chokes and not having to involve other people's reputation on the line. And doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It's not a nice thing to do. And then so that's wrong one for Ramsey. And then Master Wong is wrong for the overreaction, over the top. That was just, just not very professional. And so that is very wrong. However, they are both right. Ramsey and Master Wong has proven that, from what I can see, that strike to the groin does work. His students, both students and both videos, the student managed to strike them several times in the groin. So that actually works. And that is a viable thing. And then Ramsey is right that, yeah, you can probably, if you take BJJ for a long period of time, and if that other person wasn't twice or 2.5 times your size, yeah, you stand a good chance of, getting this hands off your neck, and then move your position and your neck and your shoulder and so on, and position your hip and so on, and get out. So what I've taken from these two videos is that they are both correct now. What the correct demonstration that I see from them two is that, first of all, when somebody strangles you, you should do the Master Wong first, smash them in the groin several times, and then second, do Ramsey Dewey's technique afterwards. And if you combine these two techniques, take some courses from Master Wong and take some courses from Ramsey, you'll be extremely well prepared. And that's how I look at it. So they are, at the end of the day, they are both wrong and they are both correct. And you know what the funny thing is? I really respect these two guys. They are very nice people, and they both have very good techniques, and to each their own. And at the end of the day, I see that these two guys seems to have more in common than they have as enemies. And it's a shame that they got and started off together on the wrong foot. So, that is what you really need to learn as a martial artist, and that is, be a little bit more mature on both sides. Be a little bit nice to everybody. And you know what? As a martial artist, we train so that we don't. As a martial artist, we train so that we don't fight. That is one thing that I like to think of. It's very different from a competitor point of view, where a fighter in a competitive sport, they train to fight, whereas a martial artist, they train so that they don't have to fight, and that is a huge difference. So they're coming from different perspective and different camps, and I think Master Wong have a lot to learn from Ramsey, because I'm sure that Ramsey knows a lot of very good moves that Master Wong doesn't know. And I am sure Ramsey would learn a lot from Master Wong as well. I'm sure Master Wong knows a lot of moves that Ramsey would like to learn. And these two guys, man, stop fighting. Stop fighting. This really makes both of you look bad, when I think underneath, both of you are a bigger man than you are today. So with that in mind, make peace and make love and not fight, I guess, okay? And that's all I have to say. Have a nice day. Bye.